We'll wait a couple seconds. Get our food all nice and ready. And we're back into it. So last we left off, we just finished talking to Argenta. We dealt with some chaos. Let's check the journal. That'll help. Let's not show the completed quest. So we're looking for travel. That sounds good. That sounds like me. Our crew suffered losses during a cultist raid. We need a new engine seer. And we also need a navigator. Those are all important things we need. There's Inquisitioner in the Expanse. That's good to know. And we have no contracts because we're hardly a rogue trader yet. Yeah, let's try to make people happy. Free XP. We love that. Remind me of who you are. Vox Master Octavius Vigdis Suriata of the Ptolemon Dynasty. The current Vox Master serving aboard your vessel. In accordance with the Seneschal's orders, I have assumed duties immediately upon the demise of the esteemed Vox Master Septimus, who was my grandfather. What are the Vox Master duties? I am the ears and voice of this void ship. I supervise several dozen officers and 3 times that number of support personnel. We receive, send, encrypt, and decode all incoming and outgoing messages through the ship's internal and external channels. We also ensure clean communications and optimal efficiency amongst of the cute crew's Voxcasters. If you ever want to know what worries, concerns your crews are harboring, what your subjects are whispering about in the local networks after their watches, and what the leaders are clamoring about over shortwave Vox transmissions, you could just come see me and I'll satisfy your curiosity. Have the Vox spirits brought you anything strange or anything interesting lately? Forgive me, Captain, I have no information that would be of interest to you at this moment. Why do you look so strange? My appearance comes from my heritage, generation after generation of people who spent their entire lives in the depths of the void ship. Neither we nor our ancestors have ever left our home, but the same can be said about many denizens of the Imperium's million worlds. We are used to the silence and of the cosmos and the voices of the ship. There are thousands of us, but we dwell far from the Lord Captain's upper decks and remain unseen. We are the Voidborn. Where does the word Voidborn come from? Because we are children born in the void between the stars. Be it the womb of a traveling vessel, an orbital satellite, or a forgotten asteroid station. Low gravity voyages through the warp and countless dangers of space traveling, everything others hate and dread is second nature to us. Tell me about the lives of the Voidborn and my crew. To us, the groans, creaks, and murmurs of the ship around the babbling sound the way babbling brooks and singing birds do to the world dwellers. We hear the ship's breath, know what it is feeling and thinking. We are a part of the ship, just like it is a part of us. Perform numerous functions, and there are many officers among your number, or our number. Some maintain order and prevent mutiny, others serve as shepherds and support the crew, and some devote themselves to mending the body of the and spirit of the vessel. Most Voidborn are members of large void ship dynasties that bear responsibility for certain aspects of the ship's life. For 300 years, the main branch of the Ptolemon dynasty has produced ship boxmasters, and most subordinates come from the cadet houses of the dynasty. How do you find life on the ship? Life has been quite generous to me, Lord Captain. I am a Voxmaster, and only the best in the dynasty can become one. By virtue of my skill and position, no one has ever denied me anything. Our family claims a spacious section for its denizen, and I also enjoy long walks through the narrow and dimly lit corridors of the ship, listening to the sounds of her activity, falling asleep and waking up to the chanting of hymns, and admiring the stars beyond, of course. How do the others on the ship treat you? We look, speak, and move differently from the inhabitants of the planetary worlds. Our way of life, tradition, and quirks frighten these people, just like the darkness of the cosmos. Many believe us to be bringers of ill fortune, and alas, it is the Voidborn who get the blame for the terrible warp phenomenon during longer voyages. Several years ago, an unfortunate warp jump caused all the food aboard to spoil. 15 days later, a hungry and furious crew nearly massacred everyone on the lower decks, blaming us for the misfortune and hoping to restock the larder with our flesh. I would have been killed during the mutiny had Irda Tlass not shown up in the right place at the right time. She came to my rescue, and the scoundrel's fear of her was greater than the fear of the Voidborn. Looks like you are close friends with Irda. The Voidborn seldom make friends, especially among the captain's entourage, but you see, many consider Irda to be different. I am different too. We have spent plenty of time in each other's company, discussing regicide over a glass of Amisac. Except Idra changed after one incident, and we started to drift apart. The death of Lord Captain Theodora made her withdraw even more. I do not know if Idra considers me her friend now, but we used to be very, very close. It is good I can still look after her in my own way. Have you ever left the ship? Oh, I did once, and it was dreadful. It felt like a massive blue dome overhead could shatter at any moment and fall, and my bones would be crushed by the gravity. The ship is my home, Lord Captain, and I would not trade it even for the bounty of 100 worlds. I see. Let us return to business. As you wish, Lord Captain. That will be all for now. I live to serve, Lord Captain. We like when they say they live to serve.
Lord Captain.
Let's talk about things that may be useful to me as the new rogue trader.
A noble aspiration, Lord Captain. I am ready to acquaint you with all the particulars that interest you.
I like it when they do the voice acting for me. Outline the situation in the Coronis Expanse for me. What do I need to know and keep in mind?
This is a topic for an official briefing, not a casual conversation. But I will try to answer succinctly. And if you permit, in my own words. The Coronis Expanse is considerably removed from the heart of the Imperium. This means that local warp routes become useless within months. Established pathways are regularly subject to attacks from all kinds of rabble. And in the only major port, the Imperium's frigates find themselves moored alongside pirate vessels. Until recently, the Coronis Expanse could hardly have been called a region of the Imperium. The situation has changed with the arrival of the Lord Inquisitor, but not by much. This place operates under its own rules, you see. More radical, so to speak. But ones that allow for a non-standard approach where there is a promise of victory. The Coronis Expanse is considered rogue trader territory for a reason. Only rogue traders have sufficient military might, audacity, and the rights granted them by the warrant to survive the leap into the unexplored part of the Expanse, and in the event of a successful outcome, to hold on to whatever they manage to capture on the frontier.
Who are the main players I need to be aware of in the Coronis Expanse?
In the first instance, you should treat official representatives of the Imperium with respect. The Expanse may be on the fringes, but it still numbers among the territories of the Golden Throne. The arrival of the Lord Inquisitor has turned the Coronis Expanse into a less wild and uncontrolled region, to the regret of some individuals who had grown inured to the local lawlessness. Rogue traders such as yourself are also servants of the Imperium. They have been accorded special rights and powers. They wield immense authority within their territory, and they enjoy absolute respect in other parts of the Expanse. The most powerful of them are Caligos Winterscale and Incendia Bastal Chorda. Tread carefully when dealing with either of them. If we are to speak of unclaimed territory, which is what Footfall is, among the scum that dwells on that handful of asteroids, there are 3 factions that wield considerable influence in the sector. The first is the Kazbala Commission, organized crime in its most primitive form. It holds sway over the Liege of Footfall, and has links to rogue trader Winterscale. The second faction is an offshoot of our shining ecclesiarchy, followers of St. Drusus. They are actively building their forces, and hold influence over rogue trader Chorda. And finally, the third faction, the Explorators, a wing of the Adeptus Mechanicus. They are willing to die and kill for the secrets of the ancient technological heresies that are hidden among the stars of the Coronis Expanse. You know, Lord Captain, I am no admirer of fine art. But when we next find ourselves in a civilized port, with time to spare, I will promptly find an artist and commission a portrait of the individual to whom you refer, with a hole between the eyes. Conrad Voigtveer. That he committed his treachery and escaped with his life was an unforgivable oversight. We both served Lord Captain Theodora for many years, and we never saw eye to eye. He was brash. He was never afraid of assuming responsibility, and he willingly took on difficult tasks. I am loath to admit it, but the Von Velatius Protectorate continues to reap the fruits of his labors to this day. His service always garnered my respect. But everything else about him made me want to wring the neck of that two-faced snake. If you are taking comfort in the thought that we will hear no more of Conrad, prepare to be disappointed.
Hey Suzu, how's it going?
His plans, his
Welcome in, welcome in.
meticulously plotted and nurtured treachery.
It's good to see you, buddy.
He is sure to attempt to strike at you, and
We
he
are-
will use his contacts and knowledge of the Protectorate to do so. The only
Merry
question,
Christmas
Lord
to you,
Captain,
buddy.
is whether you will be able to anticipate his next steps.
We are playing some Rogue Trader.
As you wish, Lord Captain.
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. How are you?
As you wish, Lord Captain. What would you like to know?
Oh, so we're gonna...
I used to be an officer in the Navis Imperialis. No,
We're doing some lore stuff right now in some Rogue Trader.
it was not simply a job. It was my calling, the essence of my life. I was proud to serve Lord Captain Theodora, but in my heart and mind, I'm still an officer of the Imperium. I met Lord Captain Theodora on a mission where the Imperial Navy was providing reinforcements to the rogue traders' army on one of the frontier worlds. Our acquaintance was Not easy. Working with people outside the Navy hierarchy has never been my strong suit. It was to my great surprise then, that after the mission's completion, I received a referral to leave my service in the Navy and join the Rogue Trader's personal council.
Luckily enough, we're doing a good guy run, so the Emperor is on our side. We're not doing no chaos, no heresy.
It was a difficult choice for me. But I saw in the offer a chance to serve the interests of humanity even more effectively than in the Navis Imperialis. You do not need me to tell you just how remarkable a person Lord Captain Theodora was. I recognize... You could say there was no one among the Naval Command who was willing to impede the wishes of the Rogue Trader. To do so would be to risk their own position and their relationship with Theodora.
I mean, you could definitely get into trouble calling me Emperor.
Contacts in the Imperial Navy.
That's its own form of
Contacts
heresy.
to request help during the conflict on the border world, and which enabled her to make me an offer that resulted in my joining her retinue. The Navis Imperialis is an ancient institution with its own mandates and muster lists. On occasion, in the heat of an official briefing, or an informal discussion, I violated those rules, determined to press my point.
Unfortunately, it's your word versus mine, and I'm the Rogue Trader here.
Express my opinion on a situation or the actions of others that do not sound overly scathing or confrontational. Many in command were inclined to view my manner of speaking as unbefitting a person of my rank. What? Lord Captain, any allegations of improper feelings or unsanctioned relations are utterly baseless and bordering on the insulting. Utterly baseless. I am a widower. I am a father of 4, and if my information is not outdated, a grandfather of 11. My family lives on Dargonus. None of my children express any eagerness or aptitude for serving aboard ship, and I would hardly have insisted that they follow in my footsteps. Of course. I thank you for the honor, but I must decline. As a former military officer, I believe in the importance of order in all things, including the chain of command. You are the Lord Captain, my direct superior. I am not prepared to address you in any way other than as regulation dictates.
This guy here is a really good guy.
Lord Captain.
We enjoy us some Abelard. Alright, we're gonna explore some star systems. I mean, technically we're good guys. The closest thing to a good guy, I think, would be the Tau. And I think you'd like them because they all have, like, mech battle suits, and you would be a Tau fan. That's my guess. They got robots and mech suits, and they have rail cannons. All good things, you know? I mean, the mech suits are better than power armor. Lord Captain reporting. The heralds of the Navis Nobilite continue to maintain silence, perhaps due to Urac 5 being off limits to visitors. We intercepted signals from the beacons drifting in the station's orbit. The demands are clear. We are told to turn the ship around immediately. We also detected an accumulation of space debris near the station's docks. Presumably, it's the remains of the interplanetary shuttles. Perhaps the esteemed Navis Nobilite House requires aid, and therefore cannot respond to our box transmission. Let's order the Augur crew to scan the station. Yes, Lord Captain. The officers from the Augur crew performed a full scan of the station, but the information is imprecise. They note waves of distortion of unclear genesis that are throwing off the most of the readings. We were able to ascertain that the reactor core of the station is still active, but many compartments are unpowered and some are fully depressurized. The sign of biological activity are largely present in the central module, which means the station has not been abandoned. So the question remains: why are steam navigators' heralds ignoring us? Turn back. No one dares to give me orders. No, Lord Captain, of course not. Order the crew to commence docking with the station. Affirmative, Lord Captain. We do not know what is happening at the station, so you will have to look for the esteemed navigator's blind. Dock safely, and may the God Emperor's light your path. Oh, we got a little thing for our journal. We're gonna dock, perform a little scanny scan, and we're gonna go in there with everybody. Right now we're trying to get our navigator so we can actually fly interplanetary. You actually get to see some combat now, though.
Pathetic worm. You dare to argue with your master?
It was not you whom I swore to serve in these wars. My lips are sealed.
Confess. What was the old man's last command? What are you planning?
Give up, Keeper. You have lost this battle. Again.
We're getting nowhere with these ones, sir. Permission to execute them.
Step back, or I'll unleash all the horrors of the Sea of Souls upon you. Emperor, be my witness. Abelard, if you'd be so kind. Before you stands Lordship, the rogue traitors, Lucas the Grim, Von Valancius, heir to the great protectorate of the Coronis Expanse, and bearer of the sacred warrant of trade. Allow me to point out the Nobilite custom that requires the Lord Navigator to introduce himself first. But given the unusual circumstances on the station, his lordship, the rogue trader, is willing to turn a blind eye to your hostility, but just this once. In that case, I shall turn a blind eye to your unceremonious invasion, but just this once. Very well, allow me to introduce myself. Before you stands Felic Christoph August, keeper of this palace. So you did not arrive to offer support to the traitors? This is great news. Having said that, you must understand that Uruk 5 is a holy sanctum for House Orselio, and the path to it is only revealed to a select few. It pains me to say that you are not on the guest list. Nope, I just named him slightly after me. I didn't name him completely after me, so when he dies, it's not me dying. Provide me with a navigator, and I will immediately depart from the station. I do not think this is possible. Uruk 5 is an observation station. We do not sign contracts and do not provide navigators. We delve into the depths of infinity and chart the moments of the warp storms, and besides, you have chosen an inopportune time for negotiations. I came here in search of a navigator, so you are coming with me. Is that so? I do not think, or is that so? I do not think so. You cannot force me. You can only end my life. But this is not your heart desire, is it? Perhaps we can help one another reach a more beneficial agreement. What agreement are you talking about? You've come to the station for a reason. House Ursilio will not be able to help you until the current crisis is resolved. But if you aid us now, I promise we will reach an agreement that you will find most satisfying, be it riches, influence, or powers of our navigators. I'm also looking for Lord Inquisitor's interrogator, one of Heinrich's Vaughan Kalux. Do you know anything about his present location? The Lord Inquisitor's interrogator? I think I would know if such an important individual decided to pay a visit. What is happening on the station? Where did all these corpses come from? Betrayal, a most banal thing in the life of the Nobilite, don't you think? I was stabbed in the back by my closest friend, Theobald Orsello, the second keeper of Urac 5, and my mentor. On his instructions, my own people sabotaged the generators, blew up the shuttles, and brutally massacred the loyal servants of my mistress most unforgivably. They dared to take her prisoner? Greedy scum, I swear by the throne's light, their souls will perish in the darkness of the void. The madmen have captured Lady Cassia and are now torturing her upstairs while we are idly chatting down here. Help me rescue her or be gone, but waste no more of my precious time. I do not care about your mistress. I am looking for a navigator, and you will do. You must be out of your mind to treat the Navis Nobilite like this. Don't you even begin to hope that I'll go quietly.
Grovel before the faithful.
None of you shall survive!
Well, I opted for violence. I don't know how smart my choice of violence was, but I chose it. Luckily, I get to go first. I hope he likes getting shot in the face.
Your corrupt way has failed you. May the Divine's will be done.
Nice little double kill for my first turn. We like that. We're gonna get point blank with our sister battle, and we're gonna blast them in the face too.
None can escape the Emperor's judgment.
And then we're also gonna do some more running and gunning because that's what the cool people do.
Guided by faith.
Get into some cover.
As the Emperor commands, I
And then I pull out my gun and start blasting. Get some double kill. Like, that's really nice. We like that.
I am his will made manifest.
We'll get a couple extra shots
I'll
in.
do it. Each strike is a prayer. As the Emperor commands, I act.
Well, that went smoothly. They didn't even get a chance. They didn't even stand a chance. Now we have to figure out a way to... Elevator not working. Just loot all the junks. Was any of their junk better than my junk? So my las gun's a well-maintained one. Exact same shotgun I already have. And an even worse las gun. Nice. Give her a little...
That wasn't so difficult.
Nothing's impossible for this old officer.
We shall reclaim what
Over
is
there.
rightfully ours.
Oh, that is a trap we need to be worried about.
Never doubt me.
Looks like we got some more combat coming up.
I will cast you into eternal darkness. You dare cross the faithful?
Get into some hard cover because we like hard cover. Get into some soft cover because we need the movement. You there. And we'll have the sister hide behind me. Ha! She shot right through her own friend. Go, Argent, go. Go, go, Argenta.
Doubt is for the weak.
Say some prayers before we shoot our guns, because that's what cool kids do.
The Emperor's judgment. Eradicated.
Holy moly, she killed 4 people with 1 shot.
I'll do it.
We're gonna get angry because we just murdered some people.
Faith without deeds is worthless.
We're gonna go for the pentakill.
God Emperor, move through me. Be the fire in my heart.
Yeah, this game is really cool.
As the
I'm gonna
Emperor
blast this
commands,
person's
I
brains
act.
out. I'm gonna miss. We're gonna go, Psyker, go.
I know what is to come.
We're gonna use our mind powers and we're gonna like fry somebody.
Was that you? What an unfortunate turn of fate.
Activated the force lightning there. And we're gonna
But of course.
give her visions of the future to make her be able to dodge better.
High momentum.
Ooh, I'm high momentum. We love it when we're high momentum.
I will not be deterred. Let this be the warning to all who oppose us. The Emperor commands.
So my guy's background is he's a former military guy, so I get to give out military aura, which is nice. And I'm also a soldier, so I can do the running gun.
Rejoice, sir. Another step towards our ultimate victory. May my wrath be thy undoing.
And I'm blasting. Where is this last guy? Oh, he's right here.
This is beyond me.
Oh. He's hiding too far away.
Pain of this mortal flesh means nothing.
My place is at the fort. I will do my
I'm gonna
duty.
charge at nothing. Just for the extra movement.
The enemies of the Emperor will be undone. not the Emperor's will.
They who discern the future own the battlefield.
I love this. One guy's just hiding in the back, and
Let my enemies tremble at the sound of my steps.
Can I fall back now?
I mean, I did kind of murder like all of his friends, though. So I can understand why he's hiding in a corner. It's going to take me a little extra time to kill him.
Rejoice in battle! I'll do it.
And we're going to blast him up real good.
I act. You can escape the Emperor's judgment.
Oh. I actually took damage that time, which is, I guess, a good thing. Makes the game interesting. But we do get a lot of loot. We like loot. Give us more loot. We'll take all of the loot. Freeze crop a book. Some interesting stuff. Some lore.
Accomplished.
Neat.
With each step, I forge my destiny among the stars. This is out of the ordinary.
I really appreciate the game pauses whenever you find a trap like that.
The crew continues to mourn Lady Theodora. I fear it may affect the performance of their duties in service of the Lord Captain.
In his service, will they find strength and fortitude? Only thus will they turn their hearts away from the frailties that lead to heresies.
I guess stepping on the trap also disarms it. This guy is cuckoo. As soon as help arrived, he murdered all his friends. That was not very cash money of him. But hey, I'll take all this stuff. Yes, let me show you my boy. So this is my character. Where can I best show? So you're always kind of a human. My character started off as an Imperial Guardsman. which is, and I also you pick your home world, which gives you a bonus. This is my Astra Militarum Commander. That was what I was before I became a rogue trader. You have like one bad thing that happened to you, one good thing that happened to you that gives you a little bonus. Your home world matters, and like what your job was matters. And then as you play, you can do different choices that affect your character. Like you can be a bad person and do these heresy things, or you can be overly good and do dogmatic things where you don't give any, like, nothing has a chance. Like if it's an alien, you're going to kill it on sight. If they're doing anything that's remotely bad, you're like, heretic, watch you burn. Where it's like, it's so good that you're bad. There's different sorts of stats you can level up. You can be a psyker, which is also a thing, which means you can do like magic. But yeah, so it's about the game's all about your character and like the members of your crew. Though those are like the cool people that they've made and have cool stories about.
An expected result. Compared to naval service, that was barely a challenge.
This game has multiplayer too. Where I think it plays kind of like Baldur's Gate. If you've seen any of that. Why are they not talking to me? Ah, I see. Awaken the cogitator. Request data on the station's navigators. Oh, it updated. It knows that I killed Felix. Somebody else is deceased. A lot of them are deceased. Oh, that doesn't sound good. Attention, error. Let's examine the log. Sure, let's look at that. Let's examine the recent entries of the incident log. The servants of the close to the child have started butchering one another again. An order came from above to have their remains reprocessed. That's fun. The negotiations with the Winter Scales were a success. A new batch of servants will arrive in 10 moons. Escort them to the laboratory at once. It is imperative that we increase the new retainer's resistance to the child's powers. Data expunged. Data log. Identity confirmed. Regent Arento Orcelio. Data visit classified. Reason visit classified. Data departure classified. Examine the security and life support logs. Damage, technical compartments. View the encrypted data. Required access level, security captain or above. Current access level, senior security officer. Break through the Machine Guardian's defenses. How good are we at that? We'll give it a try. We succeeded! Only the keepers of the station have access to life support systems, but Keeper Theobald has not left the child's side, and neither had I. Could it be that? Return to the list of available commands. We'll call Rykad Minoris for help. Switch the main chamber controls. Open all doors on this level. That's a lot of 1001s. Let's try them all. Sometimes the correct answer is just push the buttons. Main elevator controls. Activate the elevator. Processing query word. Haha, I am a genius.
Know your duty.
They really need to get out of this room with like chaos symbols on it.
The Divine watches over us.
Oh, there's an extra door.
Experience.
Unlocked it from the inside.
Nothing's impossible for this old officer.
Found some free loot. We like loot. We're a little loot goblin. More loot. More goblin.
Let us walk this path to the end.
Oh. Spooky. We got a little bit of spooky.
We are bound by the blood of martyrs.
Secret laboratory. It's a flesh sample. Delicious.
I shall repent.
Some weird psychic crystal. We got biogel, black water, and unidentified acid. Lovely. What sort of heresy have they been up to, you know? All that heresy.
We shall reclaim what is rightfully ours.
Oop, free goods. More goods. They all just lost their minds. Please don't kill me. Sure, I guess I won't kill you. Oh, we want... We'll use the side crystal. That's fun.
Stay faithful and you will be rewarded.
Crystal plus. I got crystal dust and adamantine dust. Is there anything else I can do? Here you can have this tissue. Data crypt connector. Catalyst. No. I'm gonna say biogel. Let's try that. Do I want crystal dust or adamantine dust? That sounds kind of fun. Activate the device. Up. It popped.
With each step, I forge my destiny among the stars.
There's probably like some sort of right combination I could have done. It's fine, I have a control rod, you know? That's what I needed to ride an elevator.
To the end.
Plus we have loot to be goblining over here. I'll take whatever you got. Give me the goods. Oh, mutated flesh sample. I missed out. Oh, a piece of meteorite? That's kind of fun.
I have proven myself yet again. We are bound by the blood of masters.
We should deal with this.
Oh. That was very close.
The Emperor favors me today.
Unexpected result.
Time to make a new friend. Time to make a new friend. Ow, ow, ow. As if my own little pals weren't bad enough. Now the one's barging into my head. Somebody stop her. Heresy. Abelard, what is this? Lady Cassia, I presume. What vile creature is this, Sergeant? Rid the world of this heresy. Do I want to do that? I wish I could do the iconoclast thing. It's a hidden option that I can't do. Stop your sorcery now. How dare you? What? Who are you? You are not a warden or a servant. How dare you touch me? You, girl, may address me as your lordship, rogue traitor. And under whose tutelage did you learn etiquette? The Space Wolves? I am Lady Navigator, Cassia Tisifia Avralia Orsello. You may address me as... What is this? I feel faint. The child, Lady Cassia, where are you? Sacred child, throne preserve. You. How dare you injure a defenseless child, the scion of House Orsello? Whoever you are, you will pay for this transgression with blood. Prepare to die.
Before the faithful. For the Emperor!
Well, this would be not ideal. But hey, sometimes you mess around and you find out. What a better way to make friends than, like, murdering people she cares about. So, I didn't experience this when I was actually being a bad person, so that's going to be kind of fun. Or, might as well get point blank. Say our prayers to the Emperor. and begin blasting. That's the only way I know how to fight.
Without deeds is worthless.
Just shift a little bit.
I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury.
Yep. Please bathe the battlefield in righteous fury. I wish you would have hit more of those shots.
Injured. I'm enraged.
The good news is I can also blast these.
Louder than words.
Do a little movie move, and I'll begin blasting.
Rejoice in let my fury rain down upon thee.
I'll hide behind the sister. Hide behind the nun.
I will not be to your corrupt way.
Oop, we leveled up.
Power resides in the will of the righteous.
And we also got the high momentum.
Another step towards our ultimate victory. Rejoice, you have been judged and found wanting.
Man, my guy's a little full of himself.
So let this be the
You have been judged and found wanting.
Tried and tested tactics are the best ones. It will be done. At your beck and call.
I don't think I'm the good guy here.
As the Emperor commands,
You missed the primary target and hit your friend. Great job, Argenta. Yeah, I figured. It's just... I do enjoy going, kind of leaning into whatever route I was playing. The route I was playing off stream, I was playing as a heretic.
louder than words.
But welcome in.
A tactically sound approach. I will do my duty. Indeed.
I haven't already killed her. I wasn't iconoclast enough when I came in.
It will be done.
Theobald! No! Don't leave me alone in this violet brown haze! Wake up! Your mistress is giving you an order! Do you hear me? What have you done?
Which one? Do we meet in chapter 2? Oh, the Eldar. Good old Eurolette. She didn't like me in my off-stream run. But trying to go heresy was not going to work with the Eldar. I think I'm in chapter 5 in my off-stream run. What do we want to say? Enough tears, you're coming with me now.
And if I refuse? What? What are you going to do to me?
Oh yeah, the final boss of Act 3, that fight is insane. No, 100%. Like, what's his name? Sister's like, she's bananas. And then like they just kind of overwhelm me with like a lot of stuff. I got really lucky. I built Abelard in a way where he was just so tanky that it was just him and I forget who. Oh, it was just him and my rogue trader captain, who was Biomancer Psyker, who could sustain herself enough with healing by damaging the enemy. And Abelard could keep just taking all the damage with the parry stance, where basically if he parried, he got to fight back. And I barely eked out a victory into Act 3. But yeah, that's a really, really hard fight. Oh, what do I want to? How do I want to do this? So one of the things I tried to do is I actually focused on the smaller people first, and then just kept putting on damage on her, the leader. But yeah, no, it was a really hard fight.
I beg your pardon, but what about my servants? Your Act 5 is still full of people loyal to House Orselio.
All who can be saved will be given secure above board my ship.
As a Lady Navigator of House Orselio, I accept your gracious offer of protection. Please, take me to your vessel. I can no longer bear the pain of this place.
Man, I was kind of awful to her. Yeah, I really hate going into a fight with that many like traumas. Like, it takes away like so much from you. It feels like there's a fight in Act 4 that like was so difficult for me. It was a Defiler fight. It was actually more difficult than the final boss of Act 4. But I was happy to see a Duffy in the game, so. Let's do some leveling up. But how are you enjoying Rogue Trader? Oh, without spoiling too much. So Act 4 is after you get out of Camarog, of course, and basically you come back after basically being stuck there for a bit of time. You have to deal with a couple problems that are in your protectorate. You do a couple companion quests. Then you basically get roped into some Inquisitor stuff. It was a little skewed for me since I was really deep into the heresy route. I was a little upset. I wasn't deep enough though because some of the game bugs blocked me from being heretical enough to trigger some important heresy stuff in Act 4, and I couldn't get my secret companion that I wanted. But Act 4 was good. I like Act 4. So the secret companion is, do you remember the Chaos Space Marine that you, it's not the one you kill in the prologue, but there's one that like gives you kind of a ghost vision of himself. Um, it's Earl on the Cruel, I think his name is. You have a chance to actually recruit him if you're enough of a heretic. Another fun little touch they did is the inside of your ship actually changes um, if you're into the heretic run. Like you have people in cages and you have like chaos marks all over the place. I'm pretty sure I had the space wolf leave me because I was a heretic, and the Euro left me because I was a heretic. So you definitely cannot have two. Unfortunately, the space wolf and the word bearer would just have fought right away. What do we want to do? Get some demolitions. So you can only get them in chapter 3. You have to do something with the Dark Eldar homunculus. There's a chance where you get to ask to basically, since you've already beat all the stuff in the arena, that you can ask to set him free. You can try to convince him. So that's the way I did it. There could be another way, but I don't know off the top of my head. And there's an important thing if you do manage to recruit him, don't forget there's a chest near him that actually has his armor and his bolt weapon that you don't want to miss if you recruit him. Oh yeah, he would definitely make the infight a little bit easier. Like he's weapons and he's just kind of really good. I actually didn't even do the infight with him though, because I wasn't gonna play with him on that run. I recruited him because I could, and then let him leave me. He definitely though would have. He definitely would have made the fight easier. Oh, Jay is good too. I like her. The toxic weapons were actually really helpful in the that fight. So, and her being able to use both the Dark Eldar weapons is good. Plus, she has a really cool story. I actually like her a lot. If you do a second run, I definitely recommend trying to recruit Jay. Yeah, they did a really good job of not telling you certain things in this game, which was disappointing to me. I was lucky though. Like I played both the Pathfinder games that Owlcat made before, so I had a little bit of knowledge of to be a little urgent when recruiting companions. because it's just kind of like part of their style. I do like Owlcut though. They do like, this is like, I think only their third game they've ever made too. So plus I had the benefit, I played in the alpha. So I had a bit of knowledge. No, they really did. Like, I can't complain, even though there was bugs, and I've found a couple bugs and stuff. They're such a small studio too, and like the art, the atmosphere, the characters. There's so much to love in this game that my small few complaints are small and few, and I know they'll get fixed and with time and other people pointing it out. I think they did a really good job.
Let the faith guide my path to glory.
Oh, I have a navigator. I'm also really happy with how many different like factions I got in the game, which is nice. Lord Captain, Lady Navigator, welcome aboard. The Sanctum Navis has been prepared for a communion ritual, but the Lady Navigator wishes to rest in her quarters first. First, I wish to speak with the rogue trader. Leave us. Of course. When you're ready for the ritual, please let me know. What do you wish to speak about? I have not yet. Yeah, that one's I enjoyed that fight. I like all the little like warp events. I have not yet thanked you for saving me on this station. My thoughts were clouded with so much mournful ash when Theobald's heart stopped, but you acted honorably and did not exploit me in my wretched position, and for that I am immeasurably grateful. I am also deeply grateful that you saved my servants, especially my valet. Uve served on the station for more than 5 years, much longer than any who preceded him. He knows how to properly attend me during my journeys through the Immaterium, and what to serve me for breakfast. His presence envelops me in a cloak of amber. But now I am ready to go to the Sanctum Navis and perform the sacred rite. I require brushes, canvas, and the best paints you have on board, but no red. Why are you asking for these items? Now is not the time to indulge in painting. You are asking questions, the answers to which you cannot comprehend. Perhaps I can explain it all to you at a later time, but now is our time is too precious to waste. As a navigator of House Orselio, I give you my word that without canvas and paint, we have little hope of a smooth journey through the warp. I have no reason to lie. Tell me more about what the ritual entails. I doubt the uninitiated could understand the mysteries of navigation, but I shall try to explain the essence of it. I must merge my mind and will with the machine spirit of the ship, so that I become one with the vessel. After that, I use the House or Celio ritual, which I am loath to reveal you, to free my mind of errant thoughts, and then it is time to open my third eye and peer into the depths of the warp itself. Among the nightmarish visions, mirages, and creatures of the abyss, only the light of the Emperor is the truth that will lead me from star to star, from system to system. Oh, the light, the guiding thread, so fine it can slip through from one's grasp at any moment. But you have nothing to worry about. The navigator of House Orcelia never loses their course. Why do you refuse red paint? Uv will give his blood before the ritual, as always. I shall ensure the necessary supplies are delivered to the Sanctum Navis. I shall take my leave of you for the duration of the rite. I ask that you do not follow me if you can survive the gaze of my warp eye when it is opened. Praise the Emperor. Lord Captain, I will oversee the open channel between Lady Navigator and the bridge, and may the Emperor's light help us all. Initiating communion ritual. Come here, Uv. Go. I see violet vortexes lashing an ocean with a million flails. In umber shadows spinning over the surface in a fiery dance. A storm rising above foaming waters. Armadas drowning in the fog, and the path from one end to the another cannot be seen. And here beyond the wall of glass, a daughter forsaken by her father yearns for her brother, and the sun's pale disk goes in a tireless pursuit. Of her? No, of me? Its frozen ray lie. That spring is here. The lie is deadened. The great ruler is gone. My apologies, or abject apologies, for cutting off the broadcast, Lord Captain. I've never heard the warp speaking through the navigator before. The connection is restored now. It will not happen again. Boxmaster, see to it you receive 5 lashes for the show of clumsiness. What happened? What is happening to Cassia? It appears the servants were part of Lady Navigator's right, as it was for her predecessor. I will arrange for the bodies to be removed from the Sanctum Navis after the ritual, or what is left of them. Rogue Trader, I fear I have unfortunate news. Endless blackness has spread across the canvas, dividing what should be whole in two. And my sight cannot glimpse the light of the Emperor as clearly as before. I cannot turn around. My brush only draws me onward. The way is blocked. By the Emperor's grace, the ritual was successful. Your vessel's temperament presented a challenge. Its cold steel grip did not allow me to breathe freely even for a second. It was as if the depths of the ships housed not only machine spirits, but something other. Now I will retreat to my chambers to recover my strength. Send for me if you have need for me. Lord Captain, congratulations on acquiring a navigator. Spare me a few moments of your time. Please, there are several matters that require your attention. First of all, I want to report the condition of the station Urak 5. Had you opted to begin your visit with the Rykad system with a different destination, the station would have become critically unstable. Fortunately, the decision to immediately visit the representative of the Navis Noblite brought us precious time. We can either send our forces to disassemble the station and procure technological components for our own vessel, or attempt to save as many valuables as we can. I think we gather components for use of the ship. As you command, Lord Captain. With your permission, I would also like to remind you that we are still looking for an Engineer Prime. I enjoy too many of the factions to be like all for just the God Emperor, but I enjoy everything in 40k. With your permission, I would like to remind you that we are still looking for an Engineer Prime. Both the vessel and its machine spirits are in desperate need of oversight by an experienced tech priest. We are also missing some crew, and much more importantly, we have not yet located Heinrich van Calix, the right hand of Lord Inquisitor. Now we know for sure he was not at Urak 5, so keep that in mind for future plans. Thank you, Victus. This will be all for now. As it pleases you, Lord Captain. Do I just want to jump right to Rykad Minoris? I love me some Chaos, but I also love me some Xenos. I bet you can tell with my first run being like the Heresy Ron, collect all of the Xenos Ron. But I like it all. I think I'm gonna rush to Minoris. I think that's the play. But there's nothing wrong with liking what you like. Lord Captain, there is a commotion on the officer's deck. The Lady Navigator has left her quarters and is currently in the wardroom, where uninitiated crew members are shunning her in terror. Perhaps you should find out what has brought Cassia to the deck.
Lord Captain, my apologies. I did not notice your entrance.
Alas, a title alone is not enough to hold everyone's attention all the time.
I did not... Please forgive me this regrettable lapse, Lord Captain. There are times when books sweep me up, and I lose myself in their pages and forget about the world's existence. Was there something you required of me?
For the tabletop game, I have Imperial Guard Army, and it's I'm blanking on their names. Oh, the Catachan Jungle Fighters. I have no idea why I blanked on their names for a second. But yeah, that's my Imperial Guard of choice. I quite enjoy them. I like me a little bit of Sly Marbo and Sergeant Stonetooth Harker. I remember their box set came out like a year, maybe 2 years ago. I never wound up picking it up myself, but I haven't played much tabletop lately. Plus, I have the problem of I own too many armies. Like, I have Imperial Guard, I have Orcs, I have Tau, I have Eldar, I have Arlequins, I have Chaos Space Marines, normal Space Marines, I have some cool Inquisitor stuff. A lot of people hate the Tau. I like their lore. I hate that they have like horrible rules. I like them as like the actual kind of like good guys in the universe. I mean, that's fair. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. They're just basically. I like the idea of they're basically just the new dumb race of like it's weird like humanity being older than them as a civilization. I mean, they're trying. Like, they still have their like bad stuff, but like they're trying to be good guys. I mean, they're communists, and that's like not great. But if I was living in like the world of 40K, I would want to be with them. I think I'd get treated the best in their care. I don't think there's really any good guys though in 40K. Just a lot of violence. Yeah. I wonder how that's gonna like work because like the Tau just like they're ununderstanding, like they don't work well with demons. I'm excited to see how that turns out though. Like that, I think that'll be very interesting. Yup. I mean, that kind of makes them interesting though to me, at least. They're just a baby civilization. Uh, where?
No, no. It is not that at all, Lord Captain. It is just that Uwe is quite capable of carrying out his duties by himself. He is well accustomed to my whims and preferences.
That's a funny comparison. I like that.
There are people on this ship who are far more impulsive and dangerous to others, and far less devoted to the God Emperor than a herald of the Navis nobility. But I did not need your words to see the shades of umber unease that whirl around your subjects whenever I am near. Were I not acquainted with such a reaction, I could have found their behavior in your question just now insulting. Oh, this. I found this fascinating read on one of the shelves, and I must say, it has caught my eye. Its every chapter is written in verse. I find it so beautiful and enrapturing. Urak 5 had a vast archive of its own, of course. Although most of the works within had to do with scholarly disciplines of some sort or another. Only in my sparse moments of respite was I allowed to escape into the pages of more embellished works. One should not underestimate the navigators of House Orselio, Lord Captain. Like a shawl of pale smoke, a faint malaise hangs upon my shoulders, but it will not be the slightest hindrance to my duty to humanity, and my duty to you. Lord Captain, would you kindly explain to me why you are pestering me with these questions? Inquiring about my mood and my needs,
showing an interest in the books I am enjoying. You are behaving as if you possessed a shred of fellow feeling for one such as I.
I beg your pardon, Lord Captain. That was no way for a navigator to conduct herself.
Quite right. So I would ask that you mind what you say from now on.
Yes, I understand. I offer you my apologies once more.
I'm an awful captain. Nice. My heresy character is a psyker as well. This one is a former Astra Militarum officer. I might have to do a criminal run as my next one. Lord Captain, sorry to disturb you. It's a pandemonium outside the bridge gate. One of the officers seems to be demanding an audience with you in person. I think I hear Master Worson's voice. In any case, I wanted to warn you in advance. This is not the conduct of an officer. Are the antics of a highborn brat out of lark. Explain yourself, Lieutenant. I apologize, sir. I must speak to the Lord Captain. Very well, Lieutenant. You may address the Lord Captain, not least because I see you have already seen fit to disturb him. Your unauthorized appearance on the bridge and display of belligerence towards a higher-ranking officer will be logged in your personnel file without delay. Lord Captain, Lieutenant Avrilla Vent, requesting permission to speak on a matter of extreme importance and urgency. I mean, he has to be like the hard ass enforcer. Like he has to maintain a status quo. I totally understand. Like he has to be a dick, but I love him as a character. Like he's definitely like he puts out this. He has to be upkeep of a certain perception to maintain a certain sense of keeping the whole ship together. So he does have to be mean and follow everything. Like he follows everything to like the letter. I enjoy him. I like him. I am sorry, Lord Captain. I thought that drastic times called for drastic measures. This matter cannot wait. Any minute now, an assault unit will be dispatched on the lower decks. on orders to crush workers' strike by any means necessary. I am convinced that this is a step is unwarranted and that the crisis itself was provoked by the actions of one of the senior officers. Lord Captain, I urge you to investigate the actions of Seneschal Werrison and to intervene in what's happening on the lower decks, because very soon we will have a mutiny or a massacre on our hands. How did this all start? The situation could boil over at any minute, so I'll give you a condensed version. It began when the enforcers found a cultist amulet on the body of someone who'd been killed in a drunken brawl. We reported it up the chain immediately, arranged for a cleansing rite to be performed, and opened an investigation. No heretics have been found alive, and the search has brought tension between enforcers and workers to a head. Where does Seneschal Werrison come into all of this? I shall explain. I beg you to hurry. Time is running out. I will not hurry. Since my competence is under scrutiny, I shall speak for as long as I see fit. There is an established order to the way things are done on this ship, and one of the pillars of that system is that the rogue trader's attention is not distracted by trivial matters. It is the Seneschal's role to ensure that. I have always handled internal problems myself, so of course when I received information about cultists hiding on the lower decks, I took matters in hand. So long as I live, not one vermin who murdered Theodora von Valentius will find refuge on her ship. You are far too heavy-handed, Seneschal Werrison. Arrests, interrogations, and punishments for the entire sector? It has driven the people to the brink. Now there is a strike on the lower decks, and Depot 4, to be precise. 3 worker clans are involved, but may not be passive. But many more are passively supporting them. The situation could degenerate into an all-out insurrection, and when I reported my concerns, the only response I received was an order to dispatch an assault unit and crush the strike with maximum force. What is Depot 4? Depot 4 is one of the poorest sectors on the lower decks. It is home to the clans of general laborers. They are not as valuable to the ship as the families who served in the specialized systems for generations. They are easily replaceable resource, and one which is now more besides, giving secure to cultists and minions of the arch enemy. Depot 4 is poor and troubled, but at worst that means drunken fights and illegal rot gut brewing. We have handled workers of Depot 4 in the past. We would have done so again if the crackdown on Depot 4 hadn't been so harsh. And another important point to bear in mind, the problem is not limited to the sector. It is located on one of the most populated lower decks, and everything that is happening there has a knock-on effect on all the neighboring sectors. Abelard, what do you have to say about all this? I see no need to add anything. I acted within the limit of my authority, guided exclusively by the best interest of your protectorate and your personal safety. If you wish to confirm the rectitude of my actions for yourself, I have no objections. I am certain the Seneschal was acting within his authority. We'll go down. An Enterprise boarding on sophomoric, but please yourself, Lord Captain. However, I categorically insist that I must escort you.
your duty.
Sure. How did she die? The lower decks are a source of endless problems. The sister shot her. Good old Argenta. The lower decks are a source of endless problems. Sometimes I dearly regret that we cannot replace all the locales with servitors. The people dare to disrespect a senior officer. They would not have the chance to express such disrespect if we were not here, and if the situation had been dealt with by the relevant officers. It is a junior officer's worst failing to pass problems up the chain of command. I have never been able to abide it. I shall say it again. It was a mistake to come here on Lieutenant Vent's whim, Lord Captain. I see. I must admit that the lieutenant is by no means the worst material for an officer, but in the same name of Tara, the girl is the same age as my eldest great-granddaughter, and she has the gall to tell me how to manage the lower decks and hunt down cultists. It'll be another 20 years at least before she can be trusted to act without oversight. Let's keep moving. We need to get to the bottom of this.
With each step, I forge my destiny among the stars. Let us walk this path to the end.
I have my orders to put an end to the unrest and purge the sector. You can take your orders and shove them. This is my deck and my sector. There are only 3 people who can waltz here without my express permission. The first officer, the rogue trader, and the Emperor himself. So not all my lessons fall on deaf ears. Your Lordship. We encountered some locals on the way here. Their conduct was outrageous. They even tried throwing things at us. The people are getting desperate, clearly. They saw the assault unit and decided they had nothing left to lose. I mean, I apologize, Lord Captain. It is outrageous. I am sure the people simply didn't recognize you. And when have occurred otherwise, we will deal with them once the current situation is resolved. What's the situation? Your Lordship, my people have locked down the bay where the strikers are, including their leaders. We have the situation under control as far as resources allow. Is that all you have to say? Are you sure you're worthy of officer's rank, Lieutenant Vent? Forgive me, Lord Captain. I will take steps to ensure that such a thing does not happen. I guess I'll speak to them.
The Divine watches over us.
Lord Cupton, you have come down to us. We were attacked on our way here. How do you explain that? Here's an explanation for you. The people have been pushed to their limits, and now they're lashing out. As if we don't know why the top deck units are being sent down here. Like that one there, the lieutenant won't let it pass. Our clans are all inside the bay that hasn't been sealed off, but the lower decks are big. I'm sure there are some people who've had just about enough. We're getting it from all sides. The soldiers have encircled the ones who've risen up. A death squad has just arrived. It's no wonder the folks are lashing out. Tell me, what is troubling you? Why are you striking? Striking? That's news to us, your lordship. All we're doing is asking questions, saying what we think. Shut up, Rivet. Here's the deal, your lordship. Your damned enforcers are all over us down here. They say they're looking for cultists. One wrong word, and they're reaching for their batons. If they want to punish someone, they turn off the heating to the whole bay for a week at a time. So we get sick and freeze. In my clan, 2 little ones are died from inflammation in the lungs. All because of those enforcers. It's all true. Bent is the only enforcer officer who stood up for us. It is clear as day who had a mother from the lower decks and who grew up amidship and has no fellow feeling towards us. Your lordship, we're no villains here. We're honest workers, your servants. We've plotted no disorder. We went on strike openly, and now we've got guns pointed at all of us. All we're doing is asking to be allowed to work in peace without being harassed. The persecution started apropos of nothing, you say. I was told that one of you was found in possession of a cultist amulet, and that there were heretics hiding here. A cultist amulet? What's that? The gewgaw they found on the dead drunkard? If it was something evil or forbidden, we are sure we didn't know. The enforcer just said they were looking for heretics among us, and anyone obstructing their investigation would be punished. But how could there be heretics here? We know our own people. There have been no new faces around. Definitely not. And if they were, we'd be the first to report them. And as for this amulet or whatever it is, they took it off a dead body. There are no cultists still breathing in our sector. That's for sure. And when the fights broke out, some enterprising folk looted the bodies. The boots they came back with, nobody's ever tried these decks and boots so fine. I can tell you that. It seems to me the cultists have better commanders than us. Oh yeah, those boots really were fine. And there is no harm in taking them, right? As for the amulet, it must have been pocketed by someone who didn't know any better. We don't need any amulets around here. We all worship the Emperor. And when we're working, we bow down before the machine spirits of the large and small transformers and the servo motor. The same way my grandfather was taught 100 years ago by the tech priest who came calling. Leave us, your lordship. We are people of faith. Naive children, weren't you taught from an early age the dangers of the arch enemy's creations? Weren't you warned that any unfamiliar object could be one of them? We were told, Holy Sister, but it was long ago. The last time we saw a confessor in our sector, it was just after I had my 3rd little one. That is regrettable, but you cannot lay the burden of leading a righteous life on the shoulders of the Holy Fathers. Who will you blame when the beasts crawl out of those amulets you stole from the heretics? The Holy Father who is not there, or the scavenger who brought the evil down on himself and his neighbors? Abelard, do you have nothing to add? I authorize the use of all necessary measures to locate Chaos worshippers hiding in this sector. The specific steps taken by the officers were not reported to me. Nevertheless, I am certain that their actions are justified. Cultists are no drunken stevedores. They are enemies and a threat to the ship. Neutralizing them demands decisive action. What changes do you want? Would you look at this? The Exalted Lord Captain himself is asking us Bildrots what we want. Well, here's what. We want you to rein in your damned enforcers, to quit turning off the heat and stop battering everything that moves. No, that's not it. We want the enforcers gone from here. And we want to be armed. Give us arms and we'll govern ourselves. We'll defend ourselves if these cultists do show their faces. I've been leader of my clan for 20 years now. Getting rid of these club-wielding thugs can only improve things around here. You've gone too far, old man. They'll never let maggots on the lower decks live without enforcers breathing down their necks. They probably even insist on enforcers on the upper decks too. As far as weapons, what do we need them for? Before the first day's out, we'll have someone shooting their neighbor out of stupidity or drunkenness. We don't need that. If the enforcers stop hassling us, that'll be enough. In return, we'll find scavengers who rob the cultist bodies, and we'll talk to them. One lower deck to another. If there's any more of those damned amulets about, we'll turn them over to the enforcers ourselves. You speak for yourself and your clan. I'll speak for me and mine. I don't want empty gestures. I want real change. They'll promise us the world now, and then soon, as the Anointed One turns his back, these brutes will be on us even harder than before. Because we dared speak out. I'm gonna thoughts Abelard. The story about scavenging for boots and accidentally picking up a heretical amulet doesn't convince me. These people were moments away from rebelling and possibly becoming minions of the arch enemy. We must give them what they are. We must not give them what they want, even if they did acquire something innocently, purely out of their own stupidity. And that does not mean they're not tainted with corruption. What begins as petty thievery can turn into a far graver problem. I have seen it before. In my second war, there was a sergeant in the Imperial Guard regiment that was stationed nearby. The sergeant took an ordinary pocket knife from the body of a heretic, and its whole unit lost their lives for it. When they finally managed to break into the barracks, they found a single survivor. Only the pocket knife, which had grown through all the rows of beds like a metal choking vine. So when it comes to scavengers, malcontents, strikers, or whatever they'll turn into next, the verdict is simple. Give them no quarter. Spreading anarchy on the ship is the first step towards embracing chaos. Putting weapons into untrained hands would be even worse. What's more, the enforcers are needed to maintain oversight and order. Withdraw those demands and we will consider the rest. Old man, listen. The Lord Captain himself has come down to us and is offering concessions. I don't know a single person in the whole Depot 4 who's ever stood next to the rogue trader, let alone talk to them. Back down now. There's no time for you to be a stubborn old crone. Listen to us, Nan. The three clans of Depot 4 ought to act as one. We've made up our minds. Minds up. It's your turn to decide. Don't ask them to disband the enforcers or give us weapons. We don't need any of that. You two are ganging up on me? Is that it? So you're brave, you are against an old woman. But I'll shut up. I will indeed. I won't go against two clan leaders on my own. If you want to make peace with the enforcers, make your peace. That's great. Just fantastic, Lord Captain. We're all agreed. You have failed to convince me of your trustworthiness. This unrest ends now. Everyone who was involved will be eliminated. No, Lord Captain, I swear my loyalty to you. I beg you, have mercy. Curse you. Yes, sir. If you want to mow everyone down in Depot 4, you can start with me. Vent, stop, this is treason. Sorry, I've let everybody down.
The impure cannot escape their fate.
Brace yourself.
Guided by faith. I'll do it. Doubt is for the weak.
High momentum.
In thy light I stand, and thy light I crave. Strike is a prayer. Eradicated. I'll do it. None can escape the Emperor's judgment. The enemies of the Emperor will be undone!
Anything else?
I feel a little bit bad.
I've seen worse battles than this in my time. At your back of
We are bound by the blood of martyrs.
This ocular implant was a worthwhile investment. Compared to naval service, that was barely a challenge.
Let the faith guide my path to glory. Know your duty. Let us walk this path to the end.
I definitely missed this the first time I did this.
I need to look closer.
Experience? Nothing matters more.
Divine watches over us.
I guess I found it all. Good.
With each step,
My loot
I
goblining
forge
has
my
been
destiny among the
fulfilled.
stars.
I have an urgent matter to discuss with the Lord Captain. Please give us a moment. Well, are you pleased with your investigation, Lord Captain? You made a harsh but necessary decision. But before that, you danced to the tune of the panicking junior officer. You put your life at an unnecessary risk in the midst of a potential uprising, and your actions triggered everything that followed. If you hadn't given Lieutenant Vent false hope and then snatched it away, she wouldn't have snapped. You also had no business going anywhere near the lower decks. Is that how you see the future, the helm of the Von Valencius Protectorate? There is some truth in your criticism. I should say so. You simply needed to trust me. I would have handled the situation myself had you not decided to intervene. Remember, Lord Captain, Theodora. Do you think she ever set one slippered foot on the lower decks? No, she did not. Such matters were left to myself and the junior officers, while she dedicated herself to her grand design for the Protectorate, as any true strategist and rogue trader ought. I would be only too willing to trust my seneschal, and not fill my head with such matters, but the situation had spiraled out of your control. You're right, at least as concerns junior officers making a complaint directly to you. And I lost my temper, Lord Captain, and I believed I ought to explain myself. The prosperity of the Von Valencius Protectorate is not just an empty phrase to me. I left the Imperial Navy for the chance to see it flourish. It was the most momentous decision of my life. I did it because I saw in the Lord Captain Theodora's deeds the sign of true greatness. Rogue traders do not simply forge new routes and capture worlds. They create order out of anarchy. That creative impulse was entirely lacking during my time in the military. So I left behind everything I had known, everything my family had known. I come from a long line of officers, and I will embarked upon this incredibly reckless venture Lord Captain Theodora entrusted me with. All the concerns she had no time for. She would go off of her on her flagship for long periods to distant frontiers on scouting voyages, and the advancement of the entire Protectorate rested on my shoulders. And then suddenly, everything that had been built up over years and years began to quake, rattling like a flimsy hanger on a seismically active world. One of the senior officers betrayed us all. The rogue trader was killed, and who knows what's happening on the planets. I tell you this honestly, without fear of appearing weak. This has come as a grievous blow to me. I am not panicking or grieving because I cannot allow myself to panic or grieve. I am duty bound to aid the new rogue trader, to aid you, to find your footing as quickly as possible. And to do that, I must insulate you from problems that in the past would have been dealt with by tried and tested procedures in the ship's regulation. Procedures that were established long ago and have functioned smoothly for decades cannot suddenly be deemed access to requirements. The prosperity of the Von Valencias Protectorate is just as important to me. You're the only person who has comprehensive knowledge of how things should run on this ship. I think in the future I will follow your recommendations. I am glad that you see the value in the foundations laid out by your illustrious predecessor. Why fix that isn't broken? As for me, I shall endeavor not to cause you any further consternation, Lord Captain. And now, please let us leave the lower decks. If the rogue trader desires to stretch his legs, there are far more suitable places. Stretch. I think we will take a quick break so I can go to the bathroom, maybe get a fresh drink, and then we will return to some rogue tradering. After this, nope, not a cutscene. We'll be right back. And we're back. We got a nice little level up we can do. What do I want to go with my... We gotta be fast. I think I eventually want to be using a bolter, so give me bolter weapon proficiency. let the sister use the sister is gonna use flame weapons. But we're gonna use bolters. I actually want strength on you. Since we're gonna be giving you flame. We'll eventually give you it will not die. I think our dream combo is to give you like a flamer and a melta. Or a heavy flamer. Yes, well, we're gonna get you a heavy flamer. We're gonna do nice gun things. We'll ask the Psyker to know something about the warp. That seems fair. Abelard, we'll start with some weapon skill. I think we want swift movement on you. Now let's hunt down some heresy. Ugh. Kneel before the rogue trader. Your lives belong to me. Never. Nope, there's nothing in here we needed. But I do know we got some secret stuff. I do enjoy the trophy room. No, we just got something that's gonna be nice for us. I know Abelard will enjoy this slightly worse, slightly better Wrath of St. Drusius. And I'll either give him a Deadshot stub gun or the heirloom auto pistol. Yeah, let's give him the stub. We'll give you an heirloom and a weak chainsword. I will exchange my shotgun for Blast Wave because it does a cool, like, sends people flying. Less damage for a cooler effect sounds good to me. I think we're gonna start cargoing some of my crappy stuff. Is the negotiator better than the heirloom? I think it's funnier. There you go. You can have a negotiator. Good old inventory management. We love inventory management. Ooh, improved. We'll put Avalar. Yep. Oh, but his armor's actually better. Your armor's also better. Here we go. We'll put you in something slightly better. I hope you like it. Well, we'll let you wear something slightly better for now. I think everybody's in their best armor. You don't care about the flak. We still don't care about flak. And these body gloves are not good enough yet. There we go, we're all organized. I am ready for violence. Ready for violence. Ready for violence. Finally made it through without getting, like, interrupted. Whew. I'm excited to make a tech priest friend. And an inquisitor friend. Then I can replace Idra. Halt, weapons on the ground, or I'm firing. Alright, so our skies are in lockdown, the rebels are shooting down anything that flies, and you lot just happen to land in our rear without a scratch to show for it? On a shuttle like that? Where did you get it? Stolen from the palace, isn't it? Grab 'em, lads. We've got ourselves a rebel landing force. By the Holy Throne, what is this mess? They're in a rough spot, old man. Go easy on them. Abelard, enlighten this rabble about the proper manner of greeting the God Emperor's chosen. You stand before rogue traitor Von Valencius, you ignorant worm. Snap to attention this instant and give his lordship a formal report. My mistake, sir. At once. The starport is under control of the governor's wardens. Perimeter commander is Sergeant. Pardon me, sir, Sergeant. Last Malgar reporting. My unit is holding the starport on the governor's order. How may I serve? What is going on here? Unrest, sir. Armed rebellions in both the capital and the provinces. First, the lower level sparked, and then it went up the spires. They hit the Vox hubs, the arsenals, and the mag train stations. Then Felix tore off his mask, precisely because he knew about the trouble on Rykard Minoris. He knew that none of our allies would come to our aid. You may continue your report, peasant. My unit was here when it all went to the Groxus. The tech priest linked the satellites, reported sightings of strange void ships in the system. They were orbiting the star until one of them set a course for landing on Rykard Majoris. The governor took precautionary measures and ordered to increase security at the key facilities. Everyone knows that whenever something's not right, you better double the warden detail. The alarms was raised, and we were sent to secure the starport. It's the only reason we were able to hold it. They're crushing us. The scumbags, it's been a whole turn since the last reinforcements came in. We're running low on ammo. Every fighter is wounded. I don't know how bad it is in the streets, but they'll drive us out of here any minute. Who are you anyway? Sergeant Last Malgar, sir? 11th generation loyal soldier of House Winterscale, awarded 3 commendations for faultless service. Ever since the olden days, his lordship Rogue Trader has recruited soldiers and shipwrights on Rykard Minoris, so there is no greater honor for a Cardian than serving his lordship with diligence. What caused this rebellion? Ill thought, sir. We've fallen on hard times. The ground keeps shaking. Things keep exploding. The people are scared. They've forgotten all about their duty. And that's when the Emperor, forgive me, preachers came. They started riling everyone up. Sure enough, we shot a few, but they just kept coming, more and more of them. You are doing fine work, Malgar, and so are your troops. It is people like you that hold the Imperium together. I live to serve. Do you know if a member of the Inquisition has come through here? I don't know, sir. There definitely have been any number of haven't been any number of visitors like that on my watch. You might have to inquire at headquarters, your lordship. I'm going to see the governor. If I may report, sir, as long as the rebels keep shooting the damned anti-aircraft battery, there is absolutely no way to shuttle you to the governor. It would be have to be on foot, and the streets are dangerous. I have no one to send with you as an escort. I assigned all my available troops to accompany the esteemed tech priest to the governor. I will voxcast orders to them to wait for you, and I'll inform the headquarters. They better send out a convoy to meet you halfway. Meanwhile, we will follow the governor's orders and hold the line here. You're a good soldier, but you've got a lot of blood on your hands, both yours and others. You know the same hand that salutes now might falter in darkness. Rank and epaulets will not save you from the bitterness. Pardon me, my lady, but can I get my head round these fancy words saying, I've seen plenty of blood, but trust me, I'll fight till my last drop? You are a good soldier, Malgar. I will see that your heroism is noted. I live to serve. I will take your loot. I'm gonna take all the loots.
Grovel before the faithful. Take you down.
Oop. Down here. Maybe here. Okay, up as far as you go. Hide you in the corner because you're special. Now let's beat up some rebels.
How dare you! Battlefields are always drowned in scarlet. Isn't this a job for the serfs? I'm not accustomed to being ordered around.
No worries. Thanks for dropping by and watching some Rogue Trader. It was very nice talking to you. Have a good night.
What is this foreboding? Will do. Be gone.
As the Emperor commands, I act. God Emperor, move through me! Be the fire in my heart! I'll do it. As the Emperor commands, I act. I am his will made manifest. I will not Emperor! Faith without deeds is worthless. None can escape the Emperor's judgment. This is unacceptable. I'll do it. Doubt is for the weak.
Follow my lead. I will do my duty. You as well. Indeed. I took care of this one.
High momentum. My enemies shall be crushed like dust beneath my feet. I will not be deterred. Rejoice in service. The Emperor commands. I am the chosen weapon that will crush the heathens. Your corrupt way has failed you. May my wrath be thy undoing. I cannot comply. Actions will speak louder than words. I won't suffer this. And so it shall be done. This is beyond me.
Mow your face off.
That is not my destiny.
I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury. As the Emperor commands, I am dedicated.
We shall reclaim what is rightfully ours.
Oh, we have blind madmen.
I will cast you into eternal darkness. Crush them!
Guided by faith. I'll do it. None can escape the Emperor's judgment. Faith without deeds is worthless. Rejoice in battle! Doubt is for the weak. I'll do it. Struck is a proof.
On it.
High momentum.
is at the fore. At your beck and reduce to dust. Victory is imminent. Take care of this one. Forth on Valencius! A tactically sound approach. At your beck and call.
How many can I
It will be
murder?
done. What's your target? I will do my duty. Indeed.
Another step towards our ultimate victory. I will not be deterred. Rejoice in service. And so shall it be done. Actions will speak louder than words. I will not be deterred. Power resides in the will of the righteous. Rejoice in service. Your defiance is futile.
We will take out the rebel commander. Not if I keep on missing my
And so
shots,
it
though.
shall be done.
Step aside. The navigator is coming. Isn't this a job for the serfs?
Rejoice in service. Action.
I'm afraid not.
As the Emperor commands, I act. Eradicate it.
This is out of the ordinary.
Over there.
Duty prevails.
Do you see that?
See, right there. Never doubt me. I failed. The Emperor favors me today.
Know your duty.
Change is coming. The edge is nigh.
The blinded ones are harmless. No sense in shooting them and drawing attention.
Fire on the nearest target! Don't kill the tech priest! We need to take him alive! Hold back!
Main
Not another step. Flee, for I am death.
By the throne! What is that servant of the Omnissiah made of? Adamantine? Blast it!
Abelard, this is not the time to lose your composure. Present me.
Rogue trader von Valancius greets you, honored tech priest, and graciously grants you permission to remain in his presence.
I identify you as a member of a high stratum belonging to Rogue Trader House von Valancius. I am detecting no need for confrontation. The convoy received an order to meet you. It is no longer functional. Therefore, I propose that we continue to advance to the rendezvous point with the governor's soldiers.
Who are you?
I identify as Magus Pascal Haneman of the priesthood of Mars. By the grace of the Omnissiah, I am currently assigned to the maintenance personnel of the station Altar Templum Calixis X-17.
Altar Templum Calixis. I have heard the name before. The station appears on House Orcelio's star charts in the Furibundus system, not far from the void colony of Footfall. You have traveled a long way to come here, esteemed Magos.
How did you manage to kill off a slew of people and blow up a sacred machine without even laying a finger on it?
This was my doing.
The voices are being weird about him. They're saying garbled, conflicting things. Like they're talking about completely different people. But he's not a threat to you. Even if that's a bit hard to believe after all the fireworks.
You do not even know how you caused such an explosion?
The Omnissiah granted me a revelation. The spirit of this machine was dying, but it wished to perform a service, for such was its design. I sensed this and appealed to it. I do not know how I did it. I merely followed my intuition. The understanding granted by the Omnissiah was not permanent. It has left me.
Why do you want to see the governor?
I came here to carry out a sacred mission. My mentor, Archmagus Amonat, summoned me, and I hastened to answer his call. But the rabble's unrest prevented our meeting, and I was on my way to Governor Medina to determine my mentor's current location. My escort was ordered by their commander to discontinue their movement and await to be merged with your group. Then, due to their incompetence, they let themselves be killed. It was an unacceptable complication to my task.
You must be quite devoted to your mentor to be willing to wade into this mess for him.
Cessation of vital functions is an unavoidable phenomenon, and therefore an insignificant one. The doctrine of worship repudiates the fear of death. With my mentor's words, the Omnissiah gives me the algorithm for redemption and triumph in service. I will be redeemed, and I will triumph.
I invite you to join my retinue.
Acknowledged. Predicting successful and mutually beneficial cooperation.
Welcome to the group. Receive your level up at the door, as we will make you smarter, because we like smart people. Which one do we want from? Yes. More intelligence. Tech. Here, have a nice helmet. Nope. Here, you can have a helmet. Ugh. Man, we've been going for a bit. You know what? This is a perfectly acceptable saving point, which I will take advantage of now. And we're just closing in on 3 hours, so I think we'll end here for tonight. Thank you, everybody who decided to join me. I really appreciate everybody coming, hanging out, and having fun playing some games with me. Good night, and have a good Christmas, everybody.